Hey guys, I'm Zeal. I'm gonna do a little playthrough of Dragon Age. It's a game I've been wanting to play for a while. I kind of kept putting it off. And yeah, let's start a new game. Origins. And so is the golden city, blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for this fleeting you have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. You can read that.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Okay. I have played this before. I never got very far into it. I want to say the farthest I've ever gotten on a single playthrough was about like halfway, and that was years ago. I want to say that was back when like Inquisition came out, and I've been meaning to play it, but I just never got around to doing it. Anyway, I'm gonna make my character, and I'll see you guys back here in a minute. All right, back from making my character. I'm gonna play as a human warrior, and well, let's get into it. Normal.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown. Not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad.
Is your family here, Arl Hal?
Oh no, I left them in Amaranthine, well away from the fighting in the south.
That's
They
weird.
do send their best wishes. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time.
Delilah is quite a bit younger than I am.
As you get older, those years make less difference. A lesson often hard won.
I doubt he'll be receptive, Hal. My fierce boy has his own mind these days, make her bless his heart.
Temperament to match his fighting skill. Well done, your lordship.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
Are you certain? What's involved with such a task?
Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes?
No.
There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
What the hell was that?
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey
The
Wardens
thick
are,
sword.
I hope.
They're an order of great warriors.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
Is there a reason I shouldn't join them?
You did just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Well, I'd like to stay and talk to Duncan.
You'll have plenty of time after we're gone. We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Also, my chair keeps squeaking. Whoop. Is there... Okay. That's the... Okay. Cool. And that kind of answered all the questions that I just tested right there. I'm gonna bump that up a little bit. And it's kind of hard to hear how over the music. Manual save.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
Maybe speak later.
Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner.
I look forward to it.
As do I. Until then.
Did you have anything to say?
Yes?
Oh. Nothing. Sorry to bother you. I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious?
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
You told my father the delay was your fault.
In a manner of speaking. If I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault.
How long have you and father been friends?
We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
You knew King Maric?
Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Kalen isn't half that.
You don't think much of Kalen?
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
Your daughter is interested in me?
The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations.
I got the impression Delilah didn't like me.
I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature.
We'll see.
I'm sure there will be much to discuss once I return.
Just wanted to wish you well, Arohau.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I
No.
asked?
Where do you think Fergus is?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Saying goodbye to Oriana and your nephew.
Is sending all our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea.
Yeah, fair
Don't
point.
worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here. In case.
In case of what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These Darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
You're scaring me. I'll do my best, Father.
I know you will. You are a Kuzland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
Are you sure you'll be alright?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my cherished son.
I'm the favorite.
I love you. And I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzlan name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear boy. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
I'll go now.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan.
Excuse me. The right click on things. Can't you break locks? Am I thinking of a different game?
Oh, my lord, we were just,
Playing cards?
well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Cairn stationed us here.
Did my father fear someone might steal something?
I don't know. Nobody has come to look at the treasury.
Who has the key to the treasury?
The Cairn, and perhaps the Tanner? Honestly don't know, my lord.
Continue your game. Pretend I never came by.
My lord is very kind to show us such lenience.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Didn't. She was my nanny before she was a cook. Nan won't leave.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
Stupid dog. He knows better than hurt everyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
Where is my mother exactly?
She was entertaining Lady Landra and her son when I left her. Perhaps in the atrium? Before we go, my lord, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true?
His name is Duncan. I met him.
Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me?
I really don't have time to gossip. He intends to test you for recruitment.
Maker's breath. Are you certain? Can you imagine?
Yes.
Me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my
Where are your
outburst.
eyebrows? I probably should just go to the kitchen first.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening.
Now's better than later.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder. But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you! Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
Maybe you should be put down. He's not a mongrel, he's a pure-blood Mabari.
A blight wolf is what he is. How am I supposed to work like this?
Unlock your
dear.
thing.
Mistress,
Oh,
calm
dear.
down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Excuse me.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
And look at him, he probably just busted the door down. What a smart boy you are. Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, encourage the hound, why don't you? No wonder he keeps giving Nan fits.
More barking spinning around.
He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait. Did you hear that?
No. Yeah. Oh, whoa. I'm not sure if this is better. Whoa, why is it doing that? Okay. Yes, I get it.
Now it's better than later. I love how desperate you are.
Giant
You're
rats.
pathetic.
It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
It certainly looks that way.
Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
See you. Keep forgetting it's the other button. I'm raiding the larder now.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Ow. Actually, he was defending your larder from rats. Big ones.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to
They're
shreds, they
brown.
will!
I was paying
See,
attention.
now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
Why'd you talk like that?
A whole Darkspawn army in the south? Surely it can't be true.
I'll get on it.
I didn't need to open it anyway.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
I didn't know that was there.
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
We'll be up very late tonight so the Jarl's men can be given proper quarters.
I swear I thought you could break locks open.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening. Oh, I might play Mass Effect at some point. I have played that, all 3 of them, and I guess all 4 of them if you want to include Andromeda. I guess I can't open that. Or that.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Aren't these 2 people?
Maker, forgive us all.
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
I'd appreciate that, Mother Malal.
Please, child. Call me Malol.
Okay, I was
I've
right.
known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need.
Maker watch over us.
Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be.
Maker forgive us all.
There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who
Sure
must
looks
receive the
shiny.
Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me.
Could you answer a few questions?
I cannot. Many await my attendance before they march into the unknown.
I guess that's...
We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
Well, bye. Okay. Something shining over there? What? Okay. All this XP, let's go. So I'm sitting really uncomfortable because my chair is really squeaky. So I'm trying not to like move at all.
Good evening.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
It's alright. It is boring.
I see you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson.
You know what? Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Coastland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
Come to think of it, I have things I must do. When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Coastlands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Yeah, I remember something about an age in there.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Coastland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yeah?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man.
I don't advise insulting me, old man. It's our skill as a tutor, of course.
If I were truly a skilled tutor, I suspect I would not encounter such insouciance amongst my pupils. You can look that up later. At any rate, your family has held the Tourneur of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Coastland battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence.
We opposed the king?
Well, the Coastlands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
And Calenhad let us keep the whatever.
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated,
don't look at me.
Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
Tell me about the relationship with Arhau.
The history between the Coastlands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy High Ever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Tourneur's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
But my father and Howe are old friends.
The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Well, I guess it's time to end the lesson, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
You are ready.
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself.
I went on for a little longer than I thought I would. Any XP books in here? Oh. That's probably giving me lore that I can, like...
Now's better than later.
Yeah, it's giving things I can look up. Which I will probably do in my free time, if I feel like it.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening, my lord. Just locked? Thought it was locked for a second. Oh, yeah, I should probably be... Wait. Yeah, should go and find my mother. Oh no, I was looking for Fergus.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The
What
Marquis
back?
who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Nan's head exploded. My hound ate the kitchen staff. Yeah.
Well, at least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Weren't you drunk?
I'm so proud of my pup's mastery of tact and diplomacy.
Well, it was a lovely salon, from what little I remember.
Which wouldn't be much, considering we had to pour you into the carriage afterwards.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
Mother, why are these peasants talking to me? You're being modest. You fought very well.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
Perhaps we should speak alone sometime. I can handle my own affairs, thank you.
All evidence to the contrary.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
New screenshot. Huh? Okay.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Do you know there's a Grey Warden here?
Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Would that be so bad?
There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
Do you know where Fergus might be?
If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana.
Why can't I go with Father and Fergus?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
But what if they fall without me?
It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can.
Why can I ask this twice? Are you staying in the
For
castle?
a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
As you wish.
Good. I was worried you might be nervous about running the castle alone.
Nah.
I needn't have been concerned.
I have a bad feeling about all this.
As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours.
I should go.
I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you?
I'm hardly a boy any longer. What brought this on?
You've grown up so fast. And now Bryce is leaving you in charge of the castle. I suppose there's no point in dwelling on it. Go do what you must then. I will see you soon.
Actually, with that, I think I'm gonna end this here. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I guess subscribe and all that.